Hello and welcome. Today we have McAfee again. We're putting it back into the spotlight. We're going to put McAfee Internet Security up against TrendMicro Maximum Security, which is their internet security version. So McAfee did an update. So they say, yeah, what's new? So it's this QR code that you can scan to get their protection. Okay, so let's have a look, see at all the settings again. Okay, real-time settings, it is enabled. Firewall is enabled. It's on smart mode. Smart advice decide automatically as well. Netcard is enabled. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so that's our scan settings. So there's not that much that we can actually change within McAfee, but all the protection is enabled. So I'm just going to disable the protection while we're here. Okay, so for today we have quite a bit of samples we need to execute. 1739 samples, so that's quite a lot of samples. Let's just make sure that Windows Defender is disabled. Okay, while we wait for that, let's jump over to TrendMicro. So let's quickly have a look, see at device. Okay, so real-time and web filtering is enabled. So let's go to configure. Okay, so all the settings here are enabled. We changed the protection level to hypersensitive because we want to see the maximum protection. Everything else is still enabled. PCI off checkup, that's fine, we're not going to use that. Scheduled scans. Okay, so web traffic, we've set the web strength to high and obviously block potential dangerous website, and we select it on high in case there's a malware trying to open up a website. Spam and email files, we're not going to use that. Network, we've enabled the firewall. Exception list, we created an exception for the script so it does not interfere with the script. Okay, there she goes. Extra security, so it's selected on extra security. Network settings is still the default. Smart protection, that's also enabled. Password, background animations, yeah, we're not gonna play with that. And that is about that. So there's not also really much that one can change. Okay, so let's go to privacy. Everything here is enabled, the left on default. Data, ransomware folder protection is enabled. It's enabled, and we added these folders: desktop, documents, downloads, etc. So that is enabled. Secure erase is also enabled, and that is about it. Okay, so let's just quickly disable the real-time shield. Let's do it again. Okay, so also the same amount of malware samples. Okay, just extracting the malware. Okay, so let's just wait for the malware extraction. When they're done, we'll continue the test. Okay, so the malware has been extracted on both of them, so I'm gonna before I enable real-time shields, let me just open up Process Explorer, Task Manager. Okay, I think we are ready to rumble. Malware has been extracted on both of them. Let's turn on real-time protection. Say enable now. Okay, the virus firewall is on, real-time protection is on. Everything looks great. Okay. Okay, so before we do, let's check for updates. Okay, so both of them are now fully up to date, no more updates, so I think it's ready to... Okay, so I think they're both ready to see some malware, so let the battle begin. Okay, so we're just waiting for... Oh, okay, so TrendMicro has given us our first pop-up. I'm just waiting for McAfee. Okay, so let these two battle it out. Malware is executing nicely, everything seems to be going according to plan. If there's anything worth showing or noting, so let these two battle it out, and then if there's anything interesting I'll show it to you guys, otherwise I'm just going to wait for the malware to execute. Hello. So the McAfee VM keeps on doing this, where it seems like Explorer is restarting the whole time. Let's hope it stays normal, but it's a couple of times now where it looked like Explorer was just restarting and restarting the whole time. TrendMicro VM is like frozen at this point. I can't connect to it anymore. There you guys can see that Explorer was restarted again. So it's been doing this now for a couple of times. Okay, so malware is still executing on the McAfee one. It seems like I might need to reset the VM for the TrendMicro. Then I'll have to start the execution again, but I'll let you guys know if there's anything interesting happening again. Hello. Okay, so it seems like McAfee did decide for me that this test is done and completed. As you guys can see, yeah, it's not looking good. Keeps on restarting the Explorer. A lot of the icons are missing here. You would have noticed that I had a couple of third-party opinion scanners. My shortcut to execute the malware is gone. The script itself has ended, and it keeps doing this. So yeah, I don't think it's really looking good for McAfee at this point. Still blocking viruses though. But yeah, this is quite interesting. I actually can't do anything, so I might need to restart this VM, otherwise yeah, there's no way that I'll be able to run any scans if it keeps on closing and reopening. So I'm gonna scan, I'm gonna restart McAfee and hope for the best. Hopefully it starts up, but I just wanted to point out that you guys can see that it's definitely glitching and malware is still being popped up. So let me just restart this VM, and as soon as it's back up again I'll let you guys know. Hopefully I can continue the test with TrendMicro. Okay, so it seems like the McAfee VM is now at an end. I'm gonna start a scan with McAfee. I don't think McAfee actually cleaned all the malware, because obviously a lot of my programs are missing, my script is missing, things are missing, and there's only 5 malware left. So yeah, I think whatever removed my programs also removed the majority of the malware in this folder. Actually, to be honest, I don't think it's McAfee that actually killed all the malware here, because it was still executing and I think it still had quite a bit of malware to go. But nonetheless, the malware is missing, so no point in executing anymore. McAfee is asking to restart. I'll grant McAfee that. I'll quickly do a reboot. TrendMicro is up and running again. It's executing malware, but let me quickly restart the McAfee VM, and then when it's up and running again I'll do a scan with McAfee. And we're finally done with the testing on TrendMicro. So these two VMs definitely had their fair share of surprises, of random restarts, slow, had to restart the test a couple of times, but finally TrendMicro is done. I'm just closing the last bit of open programs. Okay, so I'm busy already scanning with McAfee. It was up to date. Checked for updates. I just want to see if I can get this all closed up so I can do a scan with TrendMicro. I think TrendMicro actually wants to restart to remove threads. I'm gonna give it the opportunity to do so before I actually start the scan. So far McAfee 38%, no threads found. Okay, yeah, so it wants to restart to remove threads. Okay, so this seems like it's not responding for a bit, so let me wait for this. I'll restart the machine. When it's up and running again, I'll start the scan. Okay, so far McAfee was not able to find any threats, so it says you're protected. and I'm scanning now with TrendMicro. As soon as TrendMicro is finished, I'll start the scans there. For McAfee, I'm just going to do a scan with TrendMicro and Malwarebytes. The rest of the third-party scanners have been removed, so I'm just going to do 3 scans on this VM, wait for TrendMicro, and then I'll see if I can do 3 third-party opinion scans on TrendMicro. And the TrendMicro scans are finally done. Okay, so let's have a look. See on the left for McAfee, it did a scheduled scan again, didn't find anything. So for Norton, a couple of files here, but not too bad, five of them. Let's have a look at Malwarebytes. Also only 4 files, 3 registry keys and values, and 1 file. And for Hitman Pro, also the same. But I've got a sneaky suspicion not all the malware did execute on the McAfee machine. I know quite a bit of malware did execute, but I have a feeling when all the icons here started to disappear, my shortcut also started to disappear, and the script is not in here anymore. So I don't think all the malware executed, to be fair towards TrendMicro, but nonetheless McAfee I think still did really well. Now for Trend, it's a bit of a different scenario. So for Hitman Pro, you guys will see here that there's quite a bit of malware all over the machine. A couple of them in the malware folder, but the majority of the malware here is all over the machine, unfortunately. But all the malware did execute on the Trend. Norton PowerRaiser also quite a bit of app data, application data. So this machine is definitely not healthy, it's definitely infected. Same with Malwarebytes. Let's just do it via location. Okay, so program files, obviously that program that installed, same here as well. A couple of program files, malware. And then program data. Another app data, and then some malware on the desktop, and then under users, fake Skype, and a couple of registry keys, quite a lot of them, and we still get these pop-ups. And then physical sector is master boot sector on volume, so this is a rootkit, so that's bad. Yeah, and for you guys know, rootkits are very difficult to get rid of. They're very stubborn, so once a rootkit is on a machine, it's very difficult to get it off. Okay, so it's not looking good for TrendMicro. I was actually thinking I was going to do the best, as we had a lot more pop-ups. It was more visually active, where McAfee didn't give us that many pop-ups, but both of them definitely not a clean slate. McAfee, we lost obviously all our shortcuts. There's not that many malware on the machine, but also not all the malware did execute on the machine itself. Startup, we've got maybe those 2 and then this one. For TrendMicro, Task Manager closes. Either it's corrupted or malware is closing it. As you can see, if you try to open it, it just opens up and closes down. Let's try again. This is me doing. Okay, finally it shut, but then it closes. So definitely not a clean slate. McAfee definitely better, I would say. There's a lot less malware, but yet again, to state it, not all malware did execute. But you guys can come to the conclusion, think how this video went for you guys. Let me know in the comments what was interesting for you. If any of you guys are using the products, how are the products for you on a daily basis. But between these two, I think maybe McAfee might be the better choice. But otherwise, let us know. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see you guys soon.